We're here at the offices of KRTS, and they are part of a new program, a new association, actually across Canada, called the Professional Truck Training Alliance of Canada. Now, I've heard of this. They've just gotten started, but I wanted to learn more, and I'm here with someone who's very involved with it and working with people like Jim Campbell at the top edge. How are we doing, Kim?
Doing good, Bruce. Thanks
Good,
for coming.
good. So what is it's another association. Tell us about this. First of all, Professional Truck Training Alliance of Canada. What is that? Why did they get started? Tell us what it is.
So let's hit the rewind button right from the very start. How it started as a committee in 2022.
Okay.
So Jim Campbell from Winnipeg, who owns First Class Training Center out there, been in the trucking business all his life. He got together a group of like-minded professionals, and as it started out, it was 2 schools from each province and territory.
Right.
So there's representation from every province and every territory. And it was more or less a committee that talked about what some of our concerns were within the industry on a national level. This is federal. And it was amazing how province to province we share some of the same issues, some of the same hurdles.
I'm sure we do.
Like instructor certification, tuition.
This is just the schools now. There's no carriers in at this point. It's just schools, right?
Carriers can join,
right?
As can insurance companies and as can service providers. Our focus right now is on the schools. So what transpired through 2022 is one of the committee members said, listen, what are we going to do with this? Are we going to keep meeting once a month and shoot the breeze about our industry issues, or do we want to make a difference?
Right.
And at that point in time, it was decided that we would actually register with the federal government, open up shop. So the alliance is federally registered.
Okay.
We're going to have some lobbying efforts going on. They've got a mandate, they've got a vision, and it's been amazing since February 1st.
Tell us about the vision. What is the vision that they've got going here? Is this to have some kind of strategic all schools the same across Canada, or you mentioned the instructor certification? Are they the ones that are going to kind of start that? I know other associations within provinces have already started talking about that. So where do they fit in that whole vision? Are they seeing the bigger vision of all of Canada together?
Exactly. So it's the national programs are going to focus on creating national accredited instructor programs that would not only be approved by the schools and by the alliance, but more importantly by the insurance and the carriers, and then that in turn will be supported by government. I mean, at the end of the day, I think there is a interest by a number of people in the country who'd love to see professional truck driving be a red seal trade. I think
I'm one of them. Hold up my hand.
I am too.
Skilled trade, however you want to see that.
Yeah, and I'm just not sure we can go down the red seal route, but what some of the plans are with the board members and the executive is we're going to have some consultation sessions with industry, trucking companies, associations, insurance, and talk about red seal or something that looks similar to it, so we can really sink some teeth into the regulations of what we're doing.
Give us one issue. I'm sure you were involved, without naming any name, but give us an issue that maybe was common among the different provinces when you guys were talking in your discussions. If I was to throw one out there, I'd probably say mountain driving. That's something that we may not necessarily learn here in Ontario because, but out west. So you get someone who leaves here to go out there. Now they're stuck without an issue. I don't know. Is that what we're talking about as far as?
I would say it's a little deeper than that, Bruce. I would say when you take a look at compliance and regulation, each province and everybody said the same thing. They don't have the bench strength from a government perspective to regulate the training school industry nationally. One of the things we've learned through our research is that there's nearly 500 schools registered in Canada to offer commercial truck training. Now, I don't think terrain changes, roads change, mountains, city, but at the end of the day, driving as a professional truck driver in Ontario, Northern Ontario, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, we're all doing the same thing. But at the end of the day, wouldn't it be great if we had a body or an alliance that we could turn to that had best practices and regular education and format and lobbying to the government for certain needs for the industry.
Will this be something where they are able to kind of control the type of schools coming into the industry? That's been a big problem here in Ontario. I don't know if elsewhere. Or are they not really going to be kind of that? I mean, we've got a lot of people who say, yeah, okay, I'm going to jump on that. That sounds like a great thing. Start using the logo, and they're not really up to par to what the alliance is. Are they going to have that kind of control over schools that enter, or no?
No, the alliance mandate is to welcome any school who is registered in their province.
Okay.
And the thought process of the executive, Bruce, is that there's going to be different grades and levels of schools,
right,
depending upon how long they've been in business and the services that they offer. But the goal of the alliance is to take these schools who need the improvement and the assistance and help them, and point them in the right direction and surround them with like-minded educators who are going to improve the overall standard of truck training nationally.
So they'll have basically, would they be writing curriculum? Like, you have a pretty good course here at KRTS. You have probably one of the best ones, the 200-hour course that you have. Would they be looking at that, following that, or would they say we now have a 300-hour course that everybody should adopt to? What's your thoughts with that?
It's important that we let the audience know that there's great schools all across the country. Whether it's a 200-hour program, a 300-hour program. To answer your question about curriculum, I think that as time moves along here, there's going to be a number of curriculum providers who really understand that side of the business, who's going to want to get involved at a national level for a number of reasons. And we may have an opportunity to partner with those curriculum developers to develop something across Canada, because let's be honest here, the curriculum that's offered in Saskatchewan is different than the curriculum that's offered in BC, but the core of the curriculum is not. So if we take a look at the core of the curriculum, and then we add in the things that are necessary for each individual province or territory, that curriculum might become pretty valuable. Then when we get a driver that is trained and certified in a school in Manitoba, and they go to British Columbia, and they have that seal, and when I'm not talking red seal, I'm talking the certificate from a school who's an alliance member, there's going to be that instant credibility that they've gone to a school that is at least aligned with a group that believe in higher standards.
Wow, sounds interesting. Now, would there be I would think there would be a benefit for carriers just being part of the school, having these schools, knowing that they are top of in this alliance. Would that be right to say that it'd be an interest for them to have good students, knowing where their students are coming from, and that the thought process from
100%. I mean, we've said how long, and all of our board members and executive feel the same way. If you go to a good school, you're probably going to end up at a good carrier. You're probably going to end up making a good wage, and they probably are going to end up sticking around at that carrier and get some really good over-the-road training to boot. You know, they have finishing programs, so that's the mentality. I couldn't agree with you more.
And what about service providers? I'm one of those guys.
Absolutely.
I'm always interested in what they have to say about service providers.
Absolutely.
What size services would they be looking at for a group of like this? Because you're across the can. Are you looking for instructors or media? Or what would you?
So let's start out with those service providers. I can give you some actual. I won't mention companies' names. People can go to the website and see them, but we have alcohol and drug testing on there. We have organizations who look after the front-end documentation. We have organizations on there who work with the driver experience from being hired to being onboarded. We also have two other associations in Canada. The Private Motor Truck Council of Canada has joined as a board member. Interesting way that they built their bylaws and constitution. If anybody wants to become an association member, it's got to be approved by the board. So the Private Motor Truck Council of Canada, PMTC, and Trucking Human Resource Sector Council of Atlantic Canada, they both applied to be board members, non-voting board members, and they are both accepted by the board.
And they're both respected organizations within our industry for sure. We both have worked with them closely over the years.
And we're looking for like-minded shareholders and partners in the industry. And you know, one of the things things that we think is really important is that we are going to do a campaign where we get out to the different provinces. We have a capital fundraising project going on right now, which is based on membership.
Okay.
So that capital funding project ends April 30th.
Okay.
I would say that right now we're about 60% of that goal.
Okay.
So we have well over a month to hit that target. And our focus right now for membership, although anybody can join if they go to the website,
Yep.
they can see they can join in the different membership categories. But our focus is really on the school side of
schools.
it. We want to grow that membership because they are the unified voice.
And it doesn't matter if they're already part of a current association. Like, this doesn't conflict with provincial associations across the board.
No.
If someone's part of their association in Ontario or Quebec and they want to join, it's not gonna. They're just part of another
No,
association.
we want to work with them. As a matter of fact, we have joint members who have joined the Alliance for Canada, who are members of the Truck Training School Association of Ontario.
Right.
We welcome all membership. We welcome the all associations to get involved and to participate. We're going to be having some roundtables. We're calling it roundtables on Red Seal,
Yep.
and we're going to engage with different sectors of the industry to find out what the pros and cons are of going down that road.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've been yelling about it for a long time, but that's just me. I think with all of the stuff you have to know on the certifications, and you guys are still talking about more certifications, it's about time that it gets recognized at the driver level, right? People just have this fat file of certifications, so it's great. This is exciting stuff. Where do people go to learn more about this? Where should we go? Is it just the website, or do you wait until we get a call for a roundtable?
No. All of the information is on our website at PTTAC.ca. That stands for the Professional Truck Training Alliance of Canada. There is information forms. There's a membership form. There's a breakdown of different membership categories. You're going to see under the media section a number of press releases that have gone out. The board of directors is announced there, and we encourage anybody who's in transportation and has a vested interest in improving road safety to get involved.
I imagine there'd be some pretty interesting discussions from the person in Nova Scotia to the person in Vancouver to the person in Ontario about the same thing. And I think we all have the same challenges from what, being in the industry myself. I just think it'd be some pretty, and maybe this is going to change some, you get those kind of people lobbying to where we can change some laws, regulations, whatever it is we need to change. If we need to change any of that, it'd be pretty important.
We're all in this together, and we've been very clear, make no mistake, this is a school-led association.
Yeah.
Our lobbying efforts are going to be geared for the school sector, but we also affect the insurance industry, we affect our customers, the carriers, and at the end of the day, these carriers who are looking for great drivers, what better way to look to than towards a group like this nationally?
Sure.
There's a lot of trucking companies that are across the province. They have terminals in different areas. One thing I caught there, you said about the difference of opinions between, you use the example of Nova Scotia and BC. I'll share a story with you. I won't say who. You might be able to figure it out. Maybe the listeners will. But one of the things that was talked about when we talked about these breakout groups and who should be involved, one of our Alliance board members said, well, you need to include the fishing organizations and the fishing associations, and the point there is they use trucks as well, not just boats, and they have a voice as to what's happening with trucking. Now, that may not be the case in Saskatchewan. Yeah. Right. Well, the lakes are a little smaller. Yeah. But it caught me of great interest to know that there's all these other groups that we as an industry in the training sector affect. Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people think that it doesn't affect that person in Saskatchewan because they don't have maybe a fishing, but that truck might be going through there. And as soon as it's going through your province, it now affects you. They have a wreck on the road or whatever, that affects everybody in this province. So it's important for everybody to make sure they have the proper discussion and know what issues may need to be. And you'd be surprised. We're a lot smaller world than we think we are. We get in our little bubbles, we're busy on our day-to-day. the world is a lot smaller. You'd be surprised how many issues are common in Vancouver than they are here.
Yeah, and
even without
globally.
Yeah, and globally.
You know, our
for sure.
friend in Australia, Craig Nicholson, just spoke to the Victoria Trucking Association. They are forming their own association, an alliance there of schools.
Yeah.
They've reached out to us to help with some information and literature, and he used a lot of the information from what's been developed in Ontario and in Canada to help grow their organization.
Yeah,
So I think that's pretty cool.
We've seen a couple of those over the last little while. So well, kudos to you guys. Good luck with this. PTTAC.ca. That's where you want to go. And I'm sure you'll, if you have any questions, who should they reach out? Kim, Ontario, Jim Campbell out west?
Everything's on the website.
Everything's on the
All
website.
information's there, and
So reach out there.
we welcome the calls, and we'll look forward to chat more about it.
Thanks for your time today, buddy.
Good seeing you.
Always a pleasure.
Always.